Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. It's come to my attention, I forgot to speak to Ember last episode, so I traveled back in time to speak to her real quick. After we talk to her, I'll travel back to the present and we'll continue our journey into Threshold.
This is it. The last fortress. It's been a long road from the river city to here. We walked and walked and walked along the road, and suddenly, there's no more road.
Ember smiles her familiar carefree smile at you. Are you ready for battle?
Nobody is ready. It will be scary, very scary. In the last fortress, all the lies will end, and the truth will rise. It's scary, but it's good.
Truth. Lies. What are you talking about?
Nobody knows what will happen next. People are afraid of the future, so that's why they make it up. They lie to themselves so it's not so scary. They convince themselves and others of the things they make up. But one day the future will come. The story ends, for better or worse. When everything's already happened, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. And there's no reason to lie.
What are you going to do when the war's over?
The Redeemed Knights say they need me. I think they can manage fine without me, but maybe I really can help them somehow. I think we'll do a lot of good together.
Let's go. It's time to fight.
Hear that, Soot? It's time.
The crow looks at you with its clever black eyes and calls loudly. Alright, just real quick, we'll go speak to Bismuth as well. Never mind. You know what? I'll meet you guys back in Threshold. And welcome back. Let's see what Threshold has in store for us. You hear the sound of laughter, then the lady in shadow begins to speak. Incredible. You rejected my counsel and foolishly dismissed the power I offered. Put my plans in jeopardy, and yet, you've managed to succeed. Despite your flaws and foolish decisions, you were so close to victory. My victory. Stop playing games. I would not belong to you, and neither would my victory. Sure, whatever makes you feel better about yourself. What do you want from me? Do not be afraid. I mean you no harm. You refuse to listen to me, but I still want you to succeed. Your victory is in my best interests. I am simply here to wish you good luck. You know what lies ahead. Better than anyone, and yet, not well enough. You're about to confront the most lethal, powerful, and capable servant I've ever had. She's unmatched in her abilities, but you are her creation, her masterpiece. You're the only one who stands a chance of stopping her. The creation must surpass the creator. If you truly desire victory, why don't you join the battle yourself? Why? You're doing perfectly well on your own. Everything is going exactly as I had hoped. I have to go. In the past, you rejected my profane gift, but the situation is different now. You face a dangerous enemy, and you will need all the help you can get. So for the first time in the many ages of my existence, I offer my patronage a second time. You spurned me once, now I will ask you again. If you accept my power, I'll protect you during your fight against Aurilu Vorlesh. If you refuse, you'll face her alone, and die. What will you choose? What is a profane gift?
Every succubus can bestow her dark patronage upon whomever she likes. My magic will enter your being and enhance your already exceptional abilities. It will also allow me to watch over you and, if you are in mortal peril, help you. It will not make me your guardian demon, but you can expect to receive some aid from me. Furthermore, there is one more aspect to a profane gift. It allows the succubus to affect the mind of whoever is under her protection. You have proven to be trustworthy, and so I will not exploit this by invading your thoughts. Others, however, will not be so kind to you. If a powerful demoness charms you with her magic and grants you her profane gift, you will become her toy. A mortal can only have the patronage of one succubus, and I would rather give you mine than leave your enemies a chance to cause you harm.
I don't need your gift. You will regret your decision. In your moment of defeat, remember the victory that could have been yours. Your keen insight pleases me. You are defiant, headstrong, and driven, just like me. I do not yield to the power of others. I refuse to give up my independence. It seems that you are the same. We have so much in common. Is it possible that you are more deserving of my gift than the obedient servants who subjugate themselves to my will? Yes, I think I would give you my gift after all. I've woven this wreath from the darkest, most insidious shadows of the abyss. Wear it as a sign of my respect. Nauticula falls silent. You hear a pure, clear voice, the voice of Iomade. Her words resound in your ears like a roll of thunder. Don Quixote, you've remained resolute against the enticements of the Lady in Shadow. You've rejected the temptations of the demonic power within you. You've remained true and loyal to the Crusade. You've accepted no gifts or favors from any of the demon rulers. I, Iomade, the Inheritor, bless you before the battle. I demand no vows and impose no oaths. They are not necessary. Our beliefs are one, and so are our reasons to fight. I have given you my blade, now I grant you my power. May you strike down your foes without pity. As a Darkness Caress. This headband of perfection plus 8 allows its wearer to add a charisma bonus to all damage dealt by ranged weapons. And Daybreak. Whenever the wielder of this plus 5 Holy Evil Outsider Bane Longsword lands a killing blow, all allies in a 30-foot area around the wielder gain a plus 1 luck bonus on attack rolls, weapon damage rolls, saves, and skill checks for 3 rounds. This effect can stack up to 3 times. Pretty sure Radiance is a plus 6 though. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Looks pretty cool though. Alright, let's quick save and go. She said she also buffed us, right? Or at least she said she gave us our blessing. I don't see it. So, not worry about it.
Focus on the goal. I know what to do. Our victory is certain.
You've crossed the realm.
An expected outcome.
You won't survive.
Let's try this way. This will hurt. A calculated risk. This should do. Let's try this way.
Seriously, the swarms are the worst. We've already lost Bismuth. We're 6 steps into the fortress and he's already down.
Endure this.
Of course there's more.
Run, fiend! I will lend you my aid.
I sense something. I finished here. Is there more?
Commander, are these demons bothering you? What do you say? May I remove them? Zorgies. Oh, that's that kid from the Abyss, who escaped from his mother.
Mind over muscle.
He just died. I don't know what he was supposed to do there. He just walked in and died. I don't know. I mean, I hesitated because I thought he was going to do something cool. Okay, he's not dead. They meant to harm you, and you were kind to me. I hope I helped. I mean, you tanked a few shots, I guess. I don't know what you were supposed to do.
You're irrelevant.
I'll go ahead.
Must some loot back here. Let's get back and grab that real quick. Oh, more Elven notes. Did I leave and go give that back to... the storyteller? I couldn't give him the other Elven notes that I had. Because I had 3 Elven notes, I could only give him 2 more. Then he wrapped up his story.
Something is not right here.
I am prepared.
Anything new?
I have an idea for this fight.
Weapons ready. Make everything.
This should do it.
The light, take you.
I will resist.
Alright, so they are focusing on Arushalai. That's no good. Oh wow, Bismuth went down. That's not good.
Let's try this way. This will hurt.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Those guys are really tough.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
I mean, no other enemy's been able to withstand an entire round of my character attacking them like that. We should probably bring
Has suffered enough.
Bucephalus back.
Let me help.
We have plenty of scrolls of legendary proportions, so we'll get them back up to size.
goddess protects us.
Time's not waiting.
There we go.
Focus on the goal. This spell doesn't work like that. Enemy approaching.
Oh, I didn't kill it in one hit. That's not good.
Protect yourself.
You won't survive me.
Into the fray!
This spell doesn't work like that.
How can I not charge? Okay, well,
I'll
screw it.
remove this obstacle.
I didn't
I will
even
bring
break
down
a
the
sweat.
divine wrath.
Desna, guide my hand.
Done with you.
Trying to zoom out that far.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes.
Alright, seems like we're still in good shape.
I sense something. Please, allow me. I finished here.
It's a little
Is
concerning.
there more?
A quick save again.
I know the way.
Those Galus have me a little nervous. Not really sure which way I'm supposed to go here. Emeslin. Integrity compromised. Planar balance factor displaced. Maintain the structure at any cost. Maintain the structure. The quivering pile of metal bears little resemblance to a living creature. The voice that addresses you is the only sign of its sentience. Identification process complete. Crusaders recognized. Crusaders are enemies of Aurelu Vorlesh. Initiating protocol. Communication with a potential ally. Step 1. A request. Crusader. Ask you to attack and kill me. Who are you? Name, Emeslin. Creature type, inevitable. Status, prisoner. Objective, termination. Why do you want me to kill you? Necessity. My existence sustains the energies and the integrity of the Threshold Fortress. The Threshold Fortress protects Aurelu Vorlesh. Conclusion. My existence sustains the enemies of order. My existence must be terminated. Obstacle. Existing protocols. Self-destruction is prohibited. Self-defense is permitted. If you attack me, you activate my self-defense protocols. I'll defend myself. I'll be destroyed in battle. The scenario fulfills the objective and does not contradict existing protocols. Conclusion. Crusaders need to reach the most secure areas of the Threshold Fortress. My death will cause the collapse of Threshold's defenses. Therefore, the Crusaders must terminate my existence in order to achieve their objective. Risk assessment. My death may cause some of the fortress's exterior structures to collapse. It may become difficult to return to the entrance of the fortress. Can you explain to me in detail what will happen if you die? Chaos will prevail. The defensive and load-bearing magical structures that sustain the integrity of Threshold will be destroyed. There is a high risk that the fortress's exterior walls and gates will collapse. However, my death will also destroy the defenses around the heart of Threshold, where Aurelu Vorlesh is situated. The heart of Threshold is the heart of the World Wound. This location is currently inaccessible to the Crusaders. Therefore, the Crusaders require my termination. I want to ask you some questions. Initiating protocol. Provide information to a potential ally. I'm ready to respond. How did you get here? I was on a deep reconnaissance mission. I was sent by the Axiomites of Axis to investigate a strange new disturbance in the Threshold Fortress, but I was captured by Arilu Vorlesh and her demonic allies. Since then, I've remained both her prisoner and her test subject. The Inevitable's essence is used to stabilize the structures that sustain the Threshold Fortress. What can you tell me about Threshold? The Threshold Fortress is the central location of the load-bearing magical structures that enable the World Wound's existence. The Threshold Fortress is the most stable part of the Wound, the only part that is minimally affected by the principal chaos of the Abyss. This paradox should not lead to confusion. The Threshold Fortress remains in a state of quiescence. Quiescence. But this is not its natural state. Arilu Vorlesh uses external sources of power to prevent its destabilization. This is the purpose I unwillingly serve. I supply the power necessary to sustain the Threshold Fortress. What can you tell me about Arilu? Arilu Vorlesh, formerly a mortal woman, now a half-demon in possession of mythic powers. Threat level, comparable to demon lords. Psychological profile, extremely unstable. Her capacity for deep analysis and understanding coexists with her predisposition to manias and fixations. Conclusion. Arilu Vorlesh is an enemy of order, and is therefore subject to termination. What can you tell me about the World Wound? A comprehensive account of all the data I have collected on this phenomenon will take, by my calculations, 4 days, 6 hours, and 35 minutes. An account of this duration is unacceptable under the current circumstances. Proceeding to recount key points, and key points only. Point 1. The World Wound is an artificially created planar rift. It is an intersection between the material plane and the plane of the Abyss. The World Wound allows demons to travel freely from the Abyss to Golarion. It also creates a favorable environment for magical cataclysms, anomalies, and phenomena. Point 2. The World Wound's existence was only made possible as a result of the criminal acts of Arilu Vorlesh. On 2 occasions, she conducted a ritual to bind a mortal soul, once with the essence of the Abyss, and once with a demonic soul. The soul-binding ritual acts as the framework for the intersection of the planes. If this ritual is reversed, the soul will be severed from its bond, and the material plane will be severed from the Abyss. This process will likely result in the termination of the bonded soul. The prognosis for its owner's survival, unfavorable. Point 3. The World Wound is an unprecedented violation of world order, and a powerful weapon of chaos. The World Wound must be removed at all costs. I have no more questions. I await your decision. I will grant your request. Let's fight. I thank you, ally. It'll be an honor to die in battle.
No glory without risk! This'll leave a bruise.
Well, he's definitely not a pushover.
Together we stand.
Papers are erratically scribbled calculations and formulas. The words "I promise" are written repeatedly in the margins. Okay. A simple diagram of a tower next to a quick sketch of a room with a large crystal in the center.
I will lend you my aid.
An empty stand that may have once held a large crystal.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
Charts of several dozen large diamonds They appear to have been used in an unsuccessful attempt to cast spells.
Meditate on your mistakes. Might make you feel better.
A resurrection scroll that has been ripped to pieces.
Follow my lead.
The heck was that?
Always be ready for the worst. I'm all ears. Are we in trouble yet?
I know what to do.
Alright,
As
let's
it
keep
should
pushing
be.
forward.
No mistakes.
The world has suffered
Alright, this
enough.
looks a little bit like an arena.
Ready for anything.
I'm always open to ideas.
That is not far.
Something about this strange place feels oppressive. The air is still and silent. You can hear the distant echoes of words, promises, and battle cries. You strain to hear what's being said. You can only make out a few words. Finally, sea sorcerer. I promise. I promise.
Can't be dismissed as a calculation error. You knew failure was a possibility. Then why? Why?
Rilu's silhouette looks just as surreal as the sounds that fill this space. She's not looking at you and seems lost in thought. Her voice is dull and tired, and there's no trace of the hospitality she showed you at the entrance to the fortress. It's over, Rilu. There's nowhere left for you to run.
Yes, it's decided. I will tell you the truth before we fight to the death. Would you like to know why I upended your life?
Rilu barely seems to hear you. After a while, she turns toward you, as if noticing you for the first time. She looks at you for a moment, and her expression changes. The tiredness in her eyes gives way to a cold, hard resolve. Speak.
This place is my demi-plane. I created it when I was a prisoner in Threshold. I would slip away to conduct my rituals here in secret. This is where I decided to create what mortals would later call the World Wound. This is where I made all my preparations. Do you understand? Escaping was never my goal. I could have easily disappeared from Threshold. I could have passed through it like water through sand.
Rilu's voice drops to a hurried whisper.
Some believe that I brought Sarkoris to ruin out of revenge, and I suppose there is some truth to that. I did have reason for revenge. You've been to the secret part of my laboratory and know what I'm talking about. Or at least you have an inkling. My laboratory. The old house in the middle of nowhere that marked the entrance to my lab. It was the home of Rilu Vorlesh when I was still a mere mortal. I lived there with my son, away from the din of the crowd, and sheltered from the keen gaze of the Sarkorian witch hunters. It was a place where the reality of our world was in close proximity to the abyss, a place where I could study the magic forbidden to all Sarkorians. I thought I had hidden my home well, but I was wrong. They found it. They found us. At that hour, I was there, in the laboratory. That damned laboratory I loved so much. I was absorbed in one of my experiments when the hunters arrived on our doorstep. I was sitting at my desk, recording my observations, thoughts, and calculations, as was my habit. That's when I heard the noise outside. The fight was brief. It barely lasted a moment. By the time I sensed that something was amiss and hurried out to see what was happening, it was too late. All I could do was cradle the body of my dead child and cry after their departing soul. I promise.
Why did the Sarkorian hunters attack your son?
Because they saw him with a scroll that he had secretly borrowed from my supply. He was trying to perform a forbidden ritual. Children, they are always drawn to the unknown. But for the threshold hunters, this child playing with a magical trinket he stole from an adult was just as much of a criminal as the worst demon worshippers.
I don't 100% agree with this statement. I'm going to say it anyway. Nothing can justify the killing of a child.
I am not concerned with whether it was justified or not, or with the application of morality, the law, or the teachings of any god. Look around you. This demi-plane. The first time I escaped from my cell and ran here, I was trying to resurrect my son. I tried many things, but all my efforts were in vain. The soul had already received Pharasma's judgment and had been sent on the path determined by the gods. Into the abyss.
Rilu is silent for a long time, then speaks in a dull voice.
And when I realized that, I rebelled. But not against my jailers. Not against those who had murdered my child. Not even against Sarkoris. My uprising was against destiny. Death and the laws that the gods had forced upon our lives. I realized then that I wouldn't be satisfied with simply returning my son to life. I had to shatter this order once and for all, and make it so that neither Pharasma and her lackeys nor death itself could ever stand between us. Only by stepping beyond the bounds of what had been ordained for mortal kind, by obtaining powers that rivaled the divine, could we become free.
Rilu's voice grows stronger. A storm rages in her eyes.
And with this newfound purpose, I turned myself into a half-demon. Fusing the spiritual essence of the two planes was the only way I could achieve my goal. I let the abyss into my soul, and into this world. I opened the world wound. I danced around 3 demon lords, making them assist me without ever revealing my true intentions. They just believed they were dealing with another power-hungry mortal. But in reality, I was after one thing. I wanted to find what was left of my son's soul and give him a new birth. One that would prevent anything from ever harming him again.
Rilu chuckles.
And then I found you. I chose you because I felt a faint affinity to you. I thought your soul could accept the remains of my son's soul, like the soil takes a seed. I thought I could bring back my child by tethering the mangled remnants of his soul to a pure mortal soul untouched by the abyss. I thought the power of the Nahindrian crystals would allow me to protect him forever, that I could tear him away from the dominion of mortal nature. But I was mistaken in both assumptions. Now I'm about to face the consequences of my mistake. You will witness them as well.
Strange reverberating echoes the demi-plane fall silent. All I can hear now is Rilu's sad, quiet voice.
I swear it!
Ran again.
Endure this! Eternal Rose, I call upon you!
I'm alright.
Oh, she's in bad shape. Gonna drop a big heal.
Calculate risk. This should do it.
Make every strike count! You've crossed the wrong mongrel!
This condition is irrational.
The light take you!
Make your peace.
Your performance is lacking. You are lacking.
Oh boy. Those guys are not messing around. I'm pretty sure some of my buffs are falling off at this point, which presents a little bit of a problem. So that's the way we came from. I'm assuming this is another dead end.
I'll go ahead.
The one you call the betrayer, have nothing to offer you but death. Karamzadeh, I will give you the chance to avenge your death. Rise.
Curse you, mortal scum. You have struck ice into my heart. I will devour your souls to loosen its freezing grip.
Let's make this quick.
Oh. Okay, let's see. We need to get some buffs out, I think, first thing.
It is not an option.
You get him, storyteller. That's weird. He didn't have a weapon out. He should be fine. Let's go ahead and smite chaos here. Greyborg, good to get to work, buddy. Yeah, don't really have time to buff up here, do we? Luckily for me, Darren's a really good healer, so I gotta get him a little closer so he can heal.
Victory is worth the pain.
Just have him spam heals, I guess.
I will see to your demise.
Too late for apologies.
It's your time to cease to exist. I must withdraw.
Yeah, they might not be able to win this fight. But what is Regil doing down there? That explains why we're not winning this fight. I have no idea why he's down there.
Precision.
Oh, we're getting back up at least. sure why Darren's running forward either.
I know. I'm not nearly rich enough.
Good, I've got backup at least. Let's keep Ember alive, and I guess Darren alive.
Assist me at once.
Whew, that was sketchy. Thank goodness for our allies. They were not well equipped at all.
Time's not waiting.
Alright, so I assume that the threshold is going to be just a straight shot, but it looks like we still have plenty to go through. It's going to keep jumping us around. So I think I'm going to call the episode here. And the next one will continue our journey through Threshold and see if we can't track down and relive Vorlesh and put a stop to the Ward Wound. So for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.